Number system is the first unit of this term. Students, in the last class we have seen about subtraction of integers. Under that topic we have discussed how the integers are represented on the number line under subtraction. Subtracting integers by using the method of adding the additive inverse of second operand with the first operand. Some statement problems based on subtraction of integers. Properties of subtraction. Here we have seen that only closure property holds for subtraction of integers, whereas the commutative property and associative property do not hold for subtraction of integers. Students, in the last two classes, we have seen the topics addition of integers and subtraction of integers. Under those topics, we have seen about how the integers are represented on the number line, how to add and how to subtract integers of same and different signs, some statement problems based on addition and subtraction of integers, properties of addition of integers and properties of subtraction of integers. In the same way, now we are going to see the topic of multiplication of integers. Under this topic, let us see how the integers are represented on the number line under multiplication. How to multiply integers of same or different signs, the properties of multiplication of integers, and finally some word problems based on this topic. Let us learn multiplication of integers through the number line as we learnt about addition and subtraction in the previous classes. Let us try to multiply integers using the number line activity. Let us imagine Ramani and Ravi are playing with pebbles in a heap. Dear students, here I would like to tell you all about pebbles and heap. Pebbles are nothing but small round shaped stones, and here heap is a gathering of pebbles. Ramani is adding some pebbles to the heap and Ravi removes some pebbles. Ramani adds 3 pebbles at first, then she adds 3 more pebbles. She repeats this 2 more times. Now the question is, how many pebbles she added in total? So adding of pebbles is positive, as you all know. So initially she adds 3 pebbles, then again 3, and she repeats it for 2 more times. So 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, which is equal to 12. Or in other words, 4 into 3 is equal to 12, which means 4 times plus 3. This is nothing but multiplication of integers. So the total number of pebbles added is 12. Now Ravi removes 5 pebbles from the heap for 3 times. Removal of pebbles is always denoted as a negative integer. So for 3 times it can be written as minus 5 plus minus 5 plus minus 5 is equal to minus 15, or else minus 5 into 3 is equal to minus 15. So Ravi has removed 15 pebbles from the heap. This explains us about the multiplication of negative integers is also repeated addition, just like positive integers. We can draw a number line to learn about multiplication of integers. First, let us consider the addition of pebbles to the heap by Ramani through the number line. 4 into 3 is equal to 12. 3 is added 4 times. Draw a number line and mark 0 positive integers and negative integers corresponding to the given values. Here, for multiplication of 3 4 times, start from 0. Move 3 steps forward to mark plus 3. Repeat this for 4 times. So we need to jump from 3 more times with the gap of 3 steps. Each time we jump. Now we reach the integer 12. For removal of pebbles from their heap by Ravi, representing the multiplication of negative integers on the number line. So minus 5 into 3 is equal to minus 15. Minus 5 is added 3 times. Draw a number line. Mark 0 positive integers, negative integers corresponding to the given values. Start from 0 and move 5 steps backward from 0 to represent minus 5. Here minus 5 is multiplied by 3 times. So we need to repeat this 2 more times as we have already jumped for 1 time. That is 2 times, 3 times. So at the end we land up on minus 15, which is nothing but the answer of minus 15 into 3. Students, let us see some examples. Multiplying 2 into 4. Here 2 integers are of same sign. So the answer must be in the positive value, and here we have to jump 2 times with the gap of 4. Hence we reach the integer 8, which is the answer of our multiplication problem. What is the multiplication expression? In this problem, we have to find the multiplication expression for the above number line. Is very simple. Now we see that there are 3 jumps taken to land the answer 12 with the gap 4. So we can write it as 3 into 4 is equal to 12. Similarly, multiplication expression for the number line. Now we see that there are 4 jumps taken to land the answer 20 with a gap 5. So we can write it as 4 into 5 is equal to 20. Dear students, note it down. So far we learned about multiplying 2 positive integers which ends up as a positive integer, and multiplying a negative integer with the positive integer which gives always a negative integer. But what about multiplying 2 negative integers, say minus 3 and minus 5? Here these integers are of negative sign. When we multiply 2 negative integers, it always gives a positive integer. That is, minus 5 into minus 3 is equal to plus 15. Let us learn this through the following pattern. On a number line, if number increases by 5, from minus 15 to minus 10, from minus 10 to minus 5, from minus 5 to 0. Therefore, the next number in the pattern will be plus 5 only and not minus 5. Similarly, minus 5 into minus 2 is a positive integer, that is 10. So the product of 2 negative integers is always a positive integer. Dear students, I will give you a thumb rule which will be helpful in multiplication of integers. Listen carefully. Multiplication of any 2 integers of the same sign, whether they may be positive or negative, always gives a positive integer. For example, minus 2 into minus 5 is equal to plus 10, plus 2 into plus 3 is equal to plus 6. And multiplying 2 integers of different sign always gives a negative product. Say, minus 3 into plus 2 is equal to minus 6 and plus 4 into minus 2 is equal to minus 8. Let us see some problems. Find the value of the following multiplication of integers. Before going to this problem, recall the rules for multiplying integers once again. That is, plus into plus is equal to plus, minus into minus is equal to plus, plus into minus is equal to minus, minus into plus is equal to minus. We know that When we multiply two negative integers, it always gives a positive integer. That is, minus 35 into minus 11 gives plus 35 into 11. That is equal to plus 385, which is the answer of the given multiplication problem. We know that the product of two integers of different sign always gives a negative product. That is, multiplying positive with the negative integer gives always a negative integer. Therefore, 96 into minus 20 gives minus into 96 into 20, which is equal to minus of 1920. Similarly, multiplying minus 5 into 12. We know that the product of two integers of different sign always gives a negative product. That is, minus 5 into 12 gives minus 5 into 12, which is equal to minus 60. We know that when we multiply two positive integers, it always gives a positive integer. That is, 15 into 5 is equal to plus 75. Students, it is very important. That is, multiplying any number by 0 results in 0 as the answer. I have given some more examples. Try those problems by using multiplication integer rules. Now let us do some word problems. A fruit seller sold 5 kg of mangoes at a profit of rupees 15 per kg and 3 kg of apples at a loss of rupees 30 per kg. Find whether it is a profit or loss. Sales of mangoes. The fruit seller sells 5 kgs of mangoes for a profit of rupees 15 per kg. So, totally he earns a profit of 5 into 15, which gives rupees 75. Profit is considered to be a positive integer. So, rupees 75 should be considered as a positive integer here. However, he also sells 3 kgs of apples for loss of rupees 30 per kg. So, the total loss he faced by selling 3 kgs of apple is 3 into 30, which is 90. Loss is always denoted as a negative integer. Finally, we are asked to find whether the fruit seller has got a profit or loss by selling both mangoes and apples together. So, profit is equal to 75 plus minus 90, which is minus 15. Hence, it should be considered to be loss as minus 15 is the negative integer. Write down. Profit of 1 kg mangoes is equal to rupees 15. Profit of 5 kg mangoes is equal to 15 into 5. That is rupees 75. Loss of 1 kg apples is equal to minus 30. Loss of 3 kgs of apples is equal to minus 30 into 3, which gives minus 90. Therefore, amount is equal to loss plus profit. That is equal to minus 90 plus 75, which gives minus 15, which is the loss. Browsing rates in an internet center is rupees 15 per hour. Neela works on the internet for 2 hours in a day for 5 days in a week. How much does she pay? Number of hours spent on an internet for a day is equal to 2 hours. Therefore, number of hours spent on the internet for 5 days is equal to, we have to multiply 5 with 2. That is, 5 into 2 gives 10 hours. Cost of browsing per hour is equal to rupees 15. Cost of browsing for 10 hours, we have to multiply 10 with 15. That is, 15 into 10 is equal to 150. Therefore, the amount paid by Neela for 5 days is equal to 150 rupees. Students, now we are going to see about the properties of multiplication of integers. Let us see one by one. The first one is closure property. Recall that multiplication of whole numbers had the closure property. Closure property. When two integers are made to undergo an operation, say multiplication or addition, gives again an integer as a result, is known as closure property. Now let us see whether multiplication holds this closure property. Here 4 and minus 4 are integers. Then the product of 4 and minus 4 is minus 16, which is also an integer. Similarly, 9 and 5 are integers. The product of 9 and 5 is 45, which is also an integer. Thus, product of any two integers is always an integer. We can say that integer are closed under multiplication. This property is known as closure property of integers on multiplication. Therefore, for any two integers a and b, a into b is also an integer. Here I have given some examples. The next property is commutative property. Commutative property is nothing but change in the order of integers during the operation, say multiplication or addition, does not change the answer. Order in which we multiply two integers does not matter. That is, for example, minus 8 into 4 is equal to minus 32 is same as 4 into minus 8 is equal to minus 32. So, changing the order of multiplication does not change the value of the product. Hence, we conclude that multiplication of integers are commutative. Therefore, for any two integers a and b, a into b is equal to b into a. Multiplicative property of 0. This property is very basic. Multiplying any number by 0 results in 0 as the answer. For example, 8 into 0 is 0. 7 into 0 is 0. The next property is associative property. Associative property: if more than two integers are multiplied in different grouping patterns and the product does not change, then it is known to hold associative property. To verify that multiplication of integers is associative, let us check whether minus 4 into minus 3 into minus 2 and minus 4 into minus 3 into minus 2 are equal. Yes, the expressions are equal. Hence, associative property is true for multiplication of integers. Therefore, for any three integers a, b and c, a into b into c is equal to a into b into c. Let us see about multiplicative identity. In the addition of integers, we have learnt about an additive identity 0. Just as 0 added to an integer leaves it unchanged, integer 1 multiplied with any integer leaves the integer unaltered. For example, 57 into 1 is equal to 57 and 1 into minus 62 is equal to minus 62. We say that integer 1 is the identity for multiplication of integers or multiplicative identity. Therefore, for any integer a into 1 is equal to 1 into a is equal to a. Distributive property of multiplication over addition. When two or more operations are involved, say multiplication and addition, with more than two integers, then the product of one integer with the sum of two integers is equal to the sum of individual product of two integers. This is known as distributive property. In class 6, we have already studied that multiplication distributes over addition on whole numbers. Let us check the property for integers. For example, minus 2 into 4 plus 3 is equal to minus 2 into 4 plus minus 2 into 3. Now, let us find left hand side and right hand side values. First, take down the left hand side expression. that is minus 2 into 4 plus 3. First, add the values within the bracket. That is 4 plus 3 is equal to 7. Now the numerical expression becomes minus 2 into 7. We know that multiplying negative integer and positive integer gives always a negative integer. Recall the multiplication integer rule. That is minus into plus gives minus. Therefore, minus 2 into plus 7 gives minus 14. Now find the value of right hand side. That is minus 2 into 4 plus minus 2 into 3. By using the multiplication integer rule, we get minus 8 plus minus 6. Here, by using addition integer rule, that is when we add two negative integers, we have to add and put the same sign. That is when we add 8 and 6, it is 14. The signs of these integers are negative. Therefore, minus 8 plus minus 6 is equal to minus 14. Here, left hand side is equal to right hand side. From the above, we can observe that left hand side is equal to right hand side. Hence, distributive property of multiplication over addition is true for integers. Therefore, for any three integers a, b and c, a into b plus c is equal to a into b plus a into c. Students, let us see some important problems. Prove that minus 7 into plus 8 is an integer and mention the property. Here, minus 7 and plus 8 are integers. We know that multiplying a negative integer and a positive integer gives always a negative integer. Therefore, minus 7 into plus 8 is equal to minus 56. Here we have to remember multiplication integer rule, that is minus into plus is equal to minus. What is minus 56? Yes, it is an integer. Therefore, minus 7 into plus 8 is closed under multiplication. Second problem, or minus 42 into minus 7 and minus 7 into minus 42 equal, mention the property. In this problem, first we have to find the values of minus 42 into minus 7 and minus 7 into minus 42. Consider minus 42 into minus 7. We know that when we multiply two negative integers, it always gives a positive integer. That is minus 42 into minus 7 is equal to plus 42 into 7. We know that how to multiply 42 into 7. That is 294. Therefore, we get minus 42 into minus 7 is equal to plus 294. Now, consider minus 7 into minus 42. Again, we have to use the multiplication integer rule. When we multiply two negative integers, it always gives a positive integer. It is same as minus 42 into minus 7. That is plus 294. Therefore, minus 42 into minus 7 and minus 7 into minus 42 are equal. So, changing the order of multiplication does not change the value of the product. Hence, we conclude that multiplication of integers are commutative. Third problem. Students, prove that minus 2 into 3 into minus 4 is equal to minus 2 into 3 into minus 4. Solution. In the first case, minus 2 and 3, which are in the left hand side, are grouped together, and in the second case, 3 and minus 4, which are in the right hand side, are grouped together. In this problem, we have to prove left hand side is equal to right hand side. Now, let us take the left hand side expression, that is minus 2 into 3 into minus 4. Here, we have to multiply the integers within the square bracket first. That is minus 2 into 3. We know that multiplying negative and positive integers gives always a negative integer. That is minus 2 into 3 gives minus 6. Now multiply this value with the third value minus 4, which is in the left hand side. We get minus 6 into minus 4 is equal to 24. We know that when we multiply two negative integers, it always gives a positive integer, that is plus 24. Now let us take the right hand side expression, that is minus 2 into 3 into minus 4. Here we have to multiply 3 and minus 4 first. We know that multiplying positive and negative integer gives always a negative integer, that is 3 into minus 4 is equal to minus 12. Now multiply this value minus 12 with the first value minus 2, that is minus 2 into minus 12. Again we have to use the multiplication integer rule. When we multiply two negative integer, it always gives a positive integer, that is minus 2 into minus 12 is equal to plus 24, which is the answer of the right hand side expression. The value of left hand side is equal to plus 24. The value of right hand side is equal to again plus 24. Therefore, left hand side is equal to right hand side. Hence, it is proved. During summer, the level of the water in a pond decreases by 2 inches every week due to evaporation. What is the change in the level of the water over a period of 6 weeks? Students, due to evaporation, water decreases by 2 inches. As informed earlier, the word decrease or reduce is denoted by a negative integer. So, the reduction of amount of water every week is equal to minus 2 inches. Hence, for 6 weeks, the change in the level of water is equal to, we have to multiply 6 with minus 2, that is equal to minus 12 inches, which is the solution. Students, do you understand? Write down. During summer, the water in a pond decreases by 2 inches every week. So, for 1 week is equal to 2 inches decrease. For decrease, it is represented as minus 2 inches. For 6 weeks, what we will do? We have to multiply 6 with minus 2 inches. That is, we get 6 into minus 2 is equal to minus 12 inches, or 12 inches decreases. Instead of putting minus, we can use the word decreases. Thus, the changes in the level of water over a period of 6 weeks is 12 inches. Dear students, I have given multiplying, adding and subtracting integer rules. Go through these rules every day.
Signs positive, different signs negative, yeah, same signs positive, different signs negative. Follow these two rules when you multiply or divide. Same signs positive, different signs negative. Yeah, same signs positive, different signs negative.
Dear students, in the next class, we are going to see the topic of division of integers, properties of division, statement problems on integers using all fundamental operations.